This is episode number 208. I went to Daymond John's Launch Academy, and I got pitched hard. Here are the lessons that you can learn from it. That's coming up.
This is the Red Podcast, the marketing podcast for influencers. Rise above the noise. Expand your audience. Deliver impact. Here's your host, David Hooper.
A few years ago, I had an office in a building. It was about a 15-story tower. We worked on the 6th floor, and on the 15th floor, the top floor, there was a strip club. It's an office building. They tried to make it classy. I think they called it something like the Executive Club. And as I was working in the building, just in my day-to-day business, because I was in the music business, we were working day and night all the time, and I would run into a lot of the entertainers who were also working in the building up on the 15th floor. It was always interesting to me because I would meet them in the elevator, and you knew that they were working at the strip club. You just knew it because they weren't dressed like anybody else who was working in the building. You would introduce yourself, "Hey, I'm David." They'd say, "I'm Mercedes, but my real name is Carol." Or, "I'm Lexus, but my real name is Diane." The stripper names, it came in about 4 different varieties. There was the car names, always luxury cars, Lexus, Mercedes, Porsche, never a name like Outback or Celica. They were named after booze a lot of times. Again, the premium brands, Cavassier, Hennessy, sometimes more general, brandy, absinthe. Or they were named like a dude, Alex, BJ. And that was pretty much how the interaction would work. Every time you would meet somebody, "Hi, my name's BJ, but my real name is Diane." "Hi, my name's Cristal, but my real name's Karen." So I got to meet a lot of the workers that were there. It was an interesting experience. One time, like I said, we would work nights, and I was dating a woman at the time. She went with me to the office, and they thought I was checking her in to work. I got to see the ins and the outs of how the place worked, and I may or may not have actually entered the establishment, for research purposes. But the one thing that I do know is that strip clubs make you feel really good. Patrons would come in on the bottom floor. They'd have to take an elevator up to the 15th floor where the club was. It was always welcome gentlemen, guys that were dressed in 3-piece suits, slicked back hair, had the earpieces. If you showed up and your shirt was untucked, there was a dress code. You had to tuck in your shirt. You had to wear long pants. There was a private elevator just for patrons and a velvet rope that you had to go through. And once you were inside, the whole thing was a party. You did not see any of the business that I saw on the outside. You didn't know the girls' real names. You didn't see the security staff. Everybody was treated like a VIP. They'd laugh at your jokes. They'd agree with you. They'd let you do all the talking. Whatever you wanted, they would get it for you. They'd brush up against you. They'd tell you how great you are. And then they would go in for the sale. And I want you to think about that as I get into this episode today. I just attended Daymond John's Launch Academy. Got some great lessons that you can use in your business. This is the Red Podcast, the podcast for influencers. If you are a blogger, a podcaster, speaker, marketer, nonfiction author, or entrepreneur, basically, if you're a person with a message that you want to spread, you want to make people care about that message, and you want to get paid for it, this is the podcast for you. Red Podcast shows you how to do just that. Take your message, spread it, and make a name for yourself while making money. I talk about book publishing, podcasting, speaking, and other marketing elements of your business that you must master to grow and engage your audience. That's what RED stands for. Reach, expand, and develop your audience. I don't know what kind of business that you're in. My job is not to judge it, but I do know this. If you want to be paid, if you've got people coming into your equivalent of the VIP room, you've got to have your billing in order. If you provide services in advance and then collect money, you know what I suggest? Get FreshBooks. FreshBooks has created a super intuitive tool that makes creating and sending invoices extremely simple. Using FreshBooks, it takes just 30 seconds to create and send an invoice. You can add your own logo and color scheme so it looks like it came from you. And when your client clicks on the button included in the invoice, this thing comes full circle right back to you with money attached. It's that easy, and right now FreshBooks is offering a month of unrestricted use to all Red Podcast listeners, totally free right now. You don't even need a credit card for the trial. To claim your free month, go to freshbooks.com/red and enter RED in the How Did You Hear About Us section. So let's talk about the Daymond John Launch Academy. About a month ago, I got a package in the mail. It says, special invitation, private event, Daymond John's Launch Academy, coming to Nashville, 2 days only. It's got Daymond's picture right on the front. It's got that bald head shined up. He's got a nice Italian suit on, and it says, from ABC's hit TV show, Shark Tank. Special invitation. Choose a location below and call this number immediately. Participation is limited to the first 100 registrants. And if you call, you get the VIP gift package. All attendees will receive a free MP3 player and a free ebook, Perfecting Your Pitch, and another free ebook, Stepping Up for Success. Plus, the first 100 callers, you get a chance to win a free iPad. I wasn't interested in any of that. What I was interested in was finding out how this worked. I knew he was going to be selling me something. I wanted to know what it was. So I registered, got my tickets in the mail, very classy package. The price on the tickets, $147 value. This was at a hotel in downtown Nashville. Strangely enough, I used to take over this entire hotel when I ran a very large music conference. That's why I was in the office with the strip club above it. And that's kind of where my mindset was. I'm going up, I'm thinking about the good old days working in this tower with a strip club above me. And I see a guy in a suit. Brings back those memories of that tower. And he says, welcome, sir. He's got that earpiece in, looking really slick. I fill out the paperwork. This guy, much like the club above my old office, he escorts me to my seat, brings me in, opens the door for me. A lot of people are already there. Everybody on the inside row trying to make this event really look full. And I see a dude, one guy, with a couple seats beside him. And it was that guy. Kind of looked like Bruce, really big dude, very nicely dressed. But me, being 6'3", I'm like, please don't sit me next to this guy. Please don't sit me next to this guy. We've got all this open seating, but it's cornered off because they want everybody in the center. There's 2 seats next to the big guy. And where did I get seated? Right next to this dude. He's taken up about a seat and a half. I've got half a seat. My wife Laurel's with me. She's got a seat. She can't move over because she's got something on the other side of her. So we're screwed as far as comfort. But I'm dedicated to why I'm there. Look around the room. Daymond is all over this thing. Daymond John's Launch Academy. His name is on the event. He's got photos on everything. It's this same photo. No candids. Daymond sitting at home. None of him hanging out with all his celebrity buddies. It's him looking super serious. Same photo that was on the invitation. Got that bald head shined up. Got the Italian suit on. Looking very sharp. He is everywhere. And it's a pretty big setup. Pretty big setup. Everybody's hyped. Maybe, say, 100 people there. Had extra seats. Obviously didn't fill them. They had them there just in case. But they were able to put 100 people in seats, and I'm there on my half seat, just waiting for the show to start. And again, I'm thinking strip club, man. I'm thinking this is like a strip club with different lighting, because right now we are going to get sold. I knew that I was being set up for the big sale, kind of the VIP champagne room equivalent, and that is exactly what I got. And given that, here's how I would have introduced it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's my honor and privilege to introduce our feature entertainer. You know him from his billion-dollar clothing company, FUBU, and you've seen him weekly as a shark on ABC's hit television series, Shark Tank. Daymond has authored multiple best-selling books, including his most recent, The Power of Broke. This top-rated entrepreneur is going to rock your business. So please put your hands together to give a warm Nashville welcome to the man, the myth, the legend, Daymond John.
Of course, that didn't happen. Not because this event wasn't hyped like that. It was because Daymond John, nowhere in the building. He wasn't there. Instead, it was his team. His team was there. He'd sent the day shift in, and they were going to pitch us. So I'm going to give you the outline for the pitch that I was given. If you're looking to get in front of a crowd and give people a sales pitch, this is an outline that you can use, modify to meet your needs, and it works. And I'm going to tell you how well it worked here at the end of the episode. Immediately, a guy gets up also in an Italian suit, or so he said, dressed very nicely, got the slick hair, tie on, looks sharp. And he starts setting this all up. Talks about how his father didn't think that he'd amount to anything. He had no money because he was thinking like a broke person. Family and friends didn't support him. They didn't believe in his dream. But all his family and friends, they were broke too. Talked about how the education system was failing us. How all going to school does is teaches you how to get a better job. And you know what job stands for, J-O-B, just over broke. Then he gave 3 problems with starting your own business. 1, lack of specialized knowledge. Absolutely correct. You've got to have specialized knowledge if you want to be successful at business. Number 2, lack of capital. If you've got no money, what are you going to do then? You got to spend money to make money. You know that. And number 3, lack of execution, living in fear. You've got this great idea. You've been sitting on it, but all your family and friends, they're broke. They're naysayers. They're telling you it's never going to work. You've got this lack of execution because you're living in fear. So he took it back to that, just driving the knife in deeper and twisting it again, harping on family and friends who are broke. It's you against them. You want to be like them? If you want to be like them, listen to them. But if you want to be like Daymond, be in this fancy suit, have a shined up head, look sharp, you need to start listening to rich people. So he does this for about 30 minutes. I'm sitting there on my half seat. He's a good speaker. He's winning the crowd over. And that was a tough job because a lot of people in there, they thought they were getting Daymond John. They were not. They got Vince. Good speaker, but he's no Daymond John. And 30 minutes in, he goes into the pitch. Big lesson number 1 from this seminar. The easiest thing to sell is what you've already got people buying. The easiest thing to sell at a seminar. If you got people at a live event, what are you going to sell them? Another live event. If you're making your pitch via audio, what's the easiest thing to sell them? Audio. If you're making your pitch via video. Big lesson number 1, the easiest thing to sell is what you've already gotten people to invest in, even if that investment is simply their time. If it's a free event, sell what you're already selling. And what Vince was selling was a 3-day Shark Tank experience. You're not working with Daymond. Nope, not doing that. But you are working with Daymond's team. Daymond doesn't have time. Daymond's flying around in a jet. He's hanging out with all his celebrity friends. He's making billions of dollars. But if you want to learn from his team that he's personally put together, this is the way to do it. This is your access to that team, the same team that works with Daymond. Just under $4,000 for the 3-day Shark Tank experience. And yeah, that's lots of money. Here's big lesson number 2. Comparing your price to what somebody else can get for a similar result. And Vince is saying that the Daymond John 3-day Shark Tank experience was very similar to Harvard Business School, $158,000 for that, or Wharton Business College, $105,000 for that. So when you compare $39.97 to something that's over $100,000, yeah, that's a pretty good deal, isn't it? And what he said next was probably the best line of the seminar. I'm writing it down, writing all these notes down. I was with my wife. And you know my wife, remember her? She started Red Podcast with me. The host emeritus, Laurel Staples, also a marketing person. And when he said this, she's like, oh, that's good. Pulls out a pad and paper herself, starts writing it down. The best line of the seminar, he said, if you don't have this money, whatever you've been doing up to now hasn't been working. That's true. Man, if you throw that in your sales pitch, that is gold. Money on the table right there. Just pick it up, pocket it. If you don't have this money, whatever you've been doing up to now hasn't been working. Then he talked about value, not price. Because $4,000, look, if you can spend $4,000, turn that into $50,000, $100,000, $1 million, $4,000 is nothing. Think value, not price. He also gave a great guarantee. He said, if you work, it works. Daymond believes in you so much, he's got a 6-month guarantee. You do what he says. If it doesn't work for you, he's going to give you all your money back. Pretty good, right? It sounds better than it is. When you actually look at the guarantee, it's putting all the emphasis on you. You've actually got to do the work. He's expecting you to pay for the event, you to come to the event, you to do what they say to start your business and work it for the next 6 months, then approach them and say it didn't work. So it sounds better than it is, but it's also very fair if you think about it. If you're taking a chance on something, it really is up to you. You can't just say like, hey, sorry, it's not going to work for me without trying it. That's not fair. You've been in that situation. I've been in that situation. We've all got those clients that say, no, this isn't for me. They don't even try what we're saying. As a consultant, as a coach, that's extremely frustrating. So it's a pretty fair guarantee for both people if you've got somebody who's willing to do the work. And let's face it, most people do not do the work. So it's a pretty safe bet that if you're going to pay this guy $39.97, $4,000, that this company will keep the money, not have to pay it back. But if you do it, you're willing to take a chance on it, you've got your opportunity to get your money back. It's a risk reversal. And 30 minutes in, he's already pitched this thing, $4,000. I think it's over. A few people rush the table to buy. Then he resumes teaching. It's a 3-hour event. Just goes right back into it. Talks about VIP credit building software. Do you need money? Remember, that's the second problem. No money, no capital. Well, hey, we got a solution to this. We've got a software program. We help you build business credit. Your personal credit doesn't matter. And he sold the hell out of this thing, made it sound like it was free money. Just use this software. You're going to have banks calling you up, delivering big briefcases of cash to your door. You're going to spend it. What happens if you can't pay it back? Hey, no problem. This is your business credit. You'll just start over again, man. It's not your personal credit. Just bankrupt that business and start all over again. My words, not his. But you can read between the lines. It's a good pitch, man. It's a good pitch. Again, think value, not price. Spend $4,000 to get $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 or more in credit. It's free money. Can't argue there. The software, it's $2,500, but you can't buy it at any price. Too bad. Just drops it right there. Goes on to the next thing. This is one of the great things about having a guy like Daymond John put his name on your event. You got that association. Everybody has seen Shark Tank. A lot of times the top-rated show on ABC. So we all know this company, especially if you're an entrepreneur, and especially if you're going to respond to something like Daymond John's Wealth Academy. So he's got this video. It's a guy who pitched on Shark Tank. He's got this belt, some kind of ratcheting belt. It's going to keep your pants up. This dude made $39,000 in 6 months prior to going on Shark Tank. 1 year after going on Shark Tank, $13 million. Think about that. $39,000 to $13 million. All in 1 year. That's another big lesson from this event. Something I call the sidecar, authority through association. This seminar, it's got nothing to do with Shark Tank. You could go to this seminar, you could have success with what they're teaching you, but you're not going to go on national television and have a huge audience and have these people invest in your company that can make a few calls and get you business and turn your business from $39,000 to something that's making $13 million a year. That's not happening. But Daymond did that on Shark Tank. And Daymond has personally put together this team to show you how to run your business through the Daymond John 3-day Shark Tank experience. Authority through association. It is huge. These guys were slick. That's when Vince brought up a video that he'd taken with his iPhone. It's the dude on Shark Tank, the belt guy. Vince is hanging out with this dude in a car. Vince pulls out his iPhone. Hey, I got this guy who just made $13 million thanks to Shark Tank. Let's hear what he has to say about the Daymond John Launch Academy. And here's what he said. He said, there are no $1 million ideas, only $1 million executions. I'd taken a lift from my house to this hotel to go to this event. Beachbody was having a big convention in town. No parking at all. Tons of people. I wanted that kind of ease. So as I'm going downtown, I'm talking to my Lyft driver. This dude, it was his first day. I don't know how much money he's making. I'm not counting his money. But this dude has execution. And the reality is, my Lyft driver, because he's taking that execution, probably is going to make more money than most of the people at Daymond John's Launch Academy. Yes, absolutely. There are no $1 million ideas, only $1 million executions. But still, when you're sitting there watching that video, we all think we're going to execute, and we've all got that $1 million idea. So everybody in the audience is thinking, wow, that could be me. Then Vince brought out another testimonial. This is from a dude. He had a $2 million business. At least that's how much he was offered. Somebody said, hey, I'd like to buy your business. I'll give you $2 million for 100% of it. This dude goes to Daymond John Launch Academy. Next week, the business may be worth a little bit more. He renegotiates $7.5 million for half of the business. All thanks to Daymond John Wealth Academy. So then Vince talks about how expensive it is for somebody to come into your business, look at all the books, interview you, talk to all the employees, get a feel for everything, and then come up with some kind of price that you can go sell that business for. Then he moves on, drops the subject. Hey, this is going to cost a lot of money, but it may be worth investing to have one of these companies come in and look at your business, because look what it did for this guy. He thought it was only worth $2 million, ends up being worth $15 million. You're spending a little bit for this information, but again, think value, not price. Invest in yourself. Think value. What are you going to get in return? There's a 5-step process about pitching that I think is worth looking at. This is something that's going to apply to your business, whether you're pitching something or not. The 5 Ps that you need to know when pitching a company. The first is product. You've got to have a product to sell. A lot of people have great ideas. They think they're going to make money on the back end. A lot of people, especially in the .com era, and we're starting to see this again today, they've got these great ideas and they say, no. We'll just get the audience. We'll figure out how to make the money later. That doesn't work. You've got to have a product to sell. It could be a service, but you've got to have something to sell. That's the first P. The second is pricing. You've got to have your pricing down. And if you've ever watched Shark Tank, you know how important this is. Guys will come in there, they're pitching an idea all the time. They have no idea how much this product, this service that they're offering cost. They don't even have their costs down. And if you want to see this go horribly wrong, go to Kickstarter. Look at those failed campaigns. Look at the coolest cooler. These guys raised about $15 million with a cooler, looked kind of like one of those igloo coolers, but it had a Bluetooth speaker in it, had some nice wheels on it. It had a blender attached. You could plug in your iPhone, it plays music, it mixes drinks. They raised $15 million, didn't have their pricing in order. Now, you would think that a company that was that successful at raising money would think about, hey, maybe we should find out how much this cooler that we're selling cost. They didn't. It was a huge clusterfuck. I have more information on this linked in the episode notes at redpodcast.com/208 if you're interested in that. Third P is promotion. How are you going to get the word out about it? You can have the greatest idea in the world, but if people don't know about it, doesn't matter. When I was in the music business, I always used to say, we could get the reincarnation of Jimi Hendrix, ghost of John Lennon, the ghost of John Bonham, get the ghost of Janis Joplin singing backup vocals, and Tupac rapping over it to put together the biggest supergroup in the world. But if nobody knew about that, nobody is going to buy it. You've got to have your promotion down. How are you going to get the word out about your product? The fourth is placement. How are you going to distribute that product? People know about your product. You've got a good price. It solves a problem, but they can't get it. What are you going to do then? So placement, obviously very important. And the fifth and final element, people. Who's buying the product and who are you working with? Do you have your team in order? Whether you're preparing for a pitch or just trying to put together your own business plan, these are the 5 things that you must have: product, pricing, promotion, placement, and people. I thought that was some pretty good information. There was good stuff sprinkled within this. It was a sales pitch. I knew it going in. I don't know if these other people knew that it was going in. Like I said, a lot of them thought Daymond was actually going to be there. He was not. Some of them probably thought that they were going to get everything they needed to start their own businesses. That I don't think happened, but there was some good stuff there. That's why I like going to these kind of seminars, not only because I can learn from them as far as pitching goes, but there's also some good advice: product, pricing, promotion, placement, people. That's a great way to organize a pitch. Those are great things to have in order when you're organizing a business. So at this point, I'm about 90 minutes into the free seminar. It's a 3-hour seminar. We're halfway there, and he says something that's big to get ready for the big sale that he's about to push on us. And he says, mission gets people to work for less. And I've seen this happen with a lot of companies. Dave Ramsey, maybe you're familiar with him, gives out your grandmother's financial advice. Basically, don't spend money if you don't have it. But he's made a career out of this for 20, 30 years. He's a guy who's known for mission. If you go to glassdoor.com and read employee reviews, and I'll have these linked at redpodcast.com/208. If you read the reviews that Dave Ramsey's employees have left him and what their thoughts are about working for his company, you will see that he is not very competitive when it comes to salary. If you work for Dave Ramsey's company, you will be paid less than if you work for the company next door that's doing the exact same thing. But he's got a huge company, 400, 500 employees, I don't know, hundreds of employees. And these people are willing to work for less because he's got a mission. There's a social element there. There's a religious element there. He's trying to get people out of debt. He's got people that feel really strongly about this mission. And because of that, they're willing to work for less. So that is when Vince brought in his second big offer. So remember how he was setting this thing up. You've got software to find free money. Free money. If you spend $4,000 with Vince, doesn't matter. You can spend $8,000, $10,000 because he's got $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for you in free money he's going to help you get by building up your credit using this free software. And a business assessment. Your business may be worth twice as much as you think it is right now. That business assessment is worth something. And because Daymond, like Dave Ramsey, has a mission, he's trying to help people, and he sees that you have a mission of trying to build a business, he's going to help you. He's going to drop that price to $19.97. Now, again, the whole time, I'm thinking, man, this is just like the strip club. Here's how I would have done it.
Gentlemen, I don't do it often, but I'm in a good mood today, and you're going to be in a good mood too when I tell you this offer. You've seen the goods, and you know you want some one-on-one attention. Right now, grab a team member to get up close and personal for half off. That's right, just $19.97 if you take action now.
It was something very similar to that. He wanted you to take action now, had a timer, 5 minutes, not $39.97, only $19.97 if you're willing to take action within the next 5 minutes. Right now, I'm going to give you a pitch analysis of what happened at this seminar, the first 90 minutes. First thing that Vince did, he got attention. He used Daymond's name. He made the thing look sexy as hell by bringing in Shark Tank and billionaires and showing images of planes and how easy it is to make money in business. He agitated the problem. He said, man, if you don't have this specialized knowledge, you're not going to do this. If you don't have money, you're not going to do this. If you don't have people looking at your business, letting you know the worth that you bring to the table, you're not going to be able to do this. Then he solved that problem with a solution, which just so happens to be his seminar. First round, $39.97. Nope, because Daymond cares about you. $19.97 for you. And then he got people to take action. So 4 steps. First step, get attention. Second step, agitate the problem. 3, deliver a solution to the problem that you've agitated. And 4, get people to take action. Did it work? Again, I'm 90 minutes in. Yeah, it worked. I saw about 8 to 10 people signing up as I made my way out the door. I was done with it. I'd seen what I needed. Dropped in the bathroom on the way out. I see a guy from the seminar going in before me, and I start talking to him. I said, hey, man, you going to make the investment? He said, no. Because I got a painting company. I started with $10. I went into Walmart. I got me a brush, a gallon of paint. I started painting. Made more money than I spent. I invested that money back into the business, and I've been doing it for the last 8 years. So no, I'm not going to invest. I said, yeah, me either. I was just kind of curious about how this whole thing worked. And as I'm walking out, I see him walking back in. I said, you going back in? He goes, oh man, I love this stuff. I love it. So yeah, it worked. I saw 8 to 10 sales happen myself, and I was only halfway through the event. Still 50% to go, still dozens and dozens of people in the room. Look, I've done events at this hotel, like I mentioned. I used to rent the entire hotel, fill it, and I know how much it costs to rent this hotel. The next event he's doing, the 3-day Shark Tank experience, I'm sure that one has a similar upsell, getting people from the $19.97 event to a $10,000 event, $20,000 event, $30,000 private coaching package. Just like a strip club. The real money is made in these back rooms with the small crowds, You're not throwing out dollar bills. You're throwing out $100 bills. That's where the real money is made. And that's where the real money is made in a seminar. That's where the real money is made in your business. Call this a Slack adjuster. I've talked about this before on here. You can sell $10 ebooks all day long. Or you can sell just a few $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 services. Takes a lot of $10 books to make $5,000, make $10,000. But you just need one sale when your product's priced that high. The real money is made from just a few people. Hey, next episode, I'm going to talk about, you know what? What would the Executive Club do?
Coming up on the next episode of the world-famous Red Podcast, the topic, how to sell more books. You'll get your piece of the pie as we fully expose these easy tips, techniques, and strategies to help you make more money in book publishing. Gentlemen, you don't want to miss this one, so make sure you visit us online at redpodcast.com. One click is all it takes to tune in and enjoy the ride.
Thank you so much for listening to Red Podcast. If you've got questions, you've got comments, reach out to me. Twitter is the best way to do that. At David Hooper on Twitter. If I can help you to grow your business in any way, reach out and let me know. Thank you for helping to build the Red Podcast community. I'll see you next time on the next episode of Red Podcast.
Swing it! You've been listening to Red Podcast, the marketing podcast for influencers. Never miss an episode. Subscribe now with your iPhone, Android, or via RSS at redpodcast.com.